Happy Tuesday night, everybody. Jim here with another quick video. Today, taking a look at the FPS Boost. Yet another bonus for those who own the latest and greatest Xbox consoles. We have some FPS Boost news for you. But before I get into the news, all you gotta do is subscribe. That's it. I have seen such an increase of subscriptions that I think it's going to be a standard now that I'm going to quote unquote beg for them at the beginning, because it's almost like people don't know to subscribe or that I don't want them to. Of course I want you to. Health reasons aside, I will be doing a video just about every single day on video game stuff, so don't stop. Come back. There'll be more. So both articles here that I'm displaying are from the Xbox Wire. This one is older. You'll see this one is actually from February 17th, 2021, just about a month ago, actually, from the Xbox team, basically talking about their FPS Boost trademark. And one of the things that they mention is that it's, pretty easy to boost, and it's going to give you games at a highly increased frame rate. Now, the ones that they highlighted in the first batch were very odd. We had Far Cry 4, Super Lucky's Tale, Sniper Elite 4, UFC 4, and Watch Dogs 2. Now, they say that we chose this initial collection of titles not only because they're popular among fans, but to show that FPS Boost will work on different things, whether it be a shooter, a platformer, a fighting game, or a 3D open world exploration game. In particular, Super Lucky's Tale was actually doubled to 120 FPS, whereas UFC 4 was increased to 60. You're probably saying, Jim, we know this. You did a video on this already. Why are you telling us about this again? Well, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, it's because FPS Boost is back, baby. And now, with the official acquisition of Bethesda, Xbox now, flexing their muscle, saying, look at all these wonderful games that are now available on Game Pass. One of my dearest, most favoriteest games ever, Prey, is on that list. But for those who play on console, these are definitely not the most optimized experiences, and that's unfortunate. However, FPS Boost to the rescue. And this article came out today. Oh, yesterday, whatever. Let's round up. So now we have Dishonor, the Definitive Edition, Elder Scrolls Skyrim Special Edition, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, and Prey, all of which will now include FPS Boost on the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S, which is really, really cool. So it talks a little bit of, again, a reiteration of the FPS Boost, basically that it employs new methods for nearly doubling the original frame rate on select titles, that it's going to, they worked closely with the game designers to make sure that it met the game's original intent, and that they're doing their best for a Buttery Smooth. I love how Buttery Smooth, by the way, has become the official moniker. Like, it's the official way to describe a good game. A game isn't just smooth, it's Buttery Smooth. I love that. I just think that's, I don't know who coined that term initially with respect to video games, but I always get a kick out of it just because it just seems so out of place. You're talking about silicon chips and bits and bytes, and now we're talking about Buttery Smooth. Anyways, the 5 titles that they're including will see an increase from 30 FPS to nearly 60 FPS. Keyword being nearly. I'm sure our friends over at Digital Foundry have probably already posted 15 videos showing each of these games in deep dive, explaining where they do and don't meet the 60 frame per second threshold. I can tell you if a game is over 51, just pull that number out of thin air. 51 frames or higher, you're going to be so happy. You're not going to notice a difference. Your eye's not going to be able to perceive a difference. I'm just really happy that these games made it, because these are some real gems. We'll talk about the game specifically in a second, but they had a little video here showing off. I'm not going to show it because YouTube loves to copyright strike just about everything I do anymore, but I will have the link to this in the description below. I highly encourage you to come on your own computer, click it, and enjoy it for yourself. And they talk a little bit about how easy it is to do that with this FPS Boost and the Auto HDR, which I think is a big feature that is really overlooked here. You know, a lot of games, HDR is an afterthought, and that's a shame. And from what I have seen from Auto HDR, it looks incredibly impressive. You're going to get significantly more vibrant colors. Darker spaces will look darker. And I think you'll get a much nicer contrast, depending on your TV, of what is meant to be illuminated versus what is not meant to be illuminated. If I could tell you any single thing I've learned in my year plus of drawing, it's that shading makes all the difference. And in a video game, when you have natural looking shadows and natural looking light, which HDR can emulate, you're in for a real treat. So very, very easy. It says if you want to turn FPS Boost on or off, you can. Why would you want it off? I don't know. But if you just really want to play at, you know, janky ass 20 sub 30 FPS, be my guest. And you're good to go. So let's take a look real quick at these games, and then I'm going to wrap up because it's bedtime. I'm old and tired, and my health sucks, and I need my baby rest. But baby rest? Yeah, beauty rest. I mixed up baby fat and beauty rest. Okay, anyways, listen. I'm off on a rail, clearly. Dishonored Definitive Edition is by my beloved friends at Arcane Studios. I love this game so much. I beat it not once, not twice, 3 times. You're going to love it too, especially at 60 frames a second. It's going to make some of those platforming elements feel so much more rewarding, particularly when you are leaping from building to building, using your powers. You're going to feel so much more powerful at 60 frames a second. Fallout 4 was a game I did play on my computer in its entirety. And then it came to Game Pass and I played it again on Xbox, which was a very, very silly choice because it did not run nearly as good. But I did it anyway. I love Fallout 4, definitely not as much as Fallout 3. I think when you play that, you're going to realize it too. But it did include a really cool crafting system. So you can build your own power armor in your own, your own little base. I think what you're going to like about the 60 frame per second experience here is just how smooth VATS aiming becomes. I noticed this on my computer. It's just so much easier to aim at things, and you're going to have so much more control over the shooting mechanics. It's going to really transform this game more from an RPG into a first-person shooter if you choose to play that way, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Prey, yet another game on my beloved Arcane Studios. I loved this game so much. I think I did like 20 videos on it. I think I got like 22 views total. I don't know why you guys didn't click on these videos. They're gems. I love this game so much, from the opening scene to the final credits, the twists, the turns along the way, understanding what is actually going on, the powers that you gain, all beautiful. Now, this game really is a first-person shooter, much more so than any other Arcane game. This is really the gateway into Deathloop when it comes out. I mean, this is definitely a shooter first and foremost. And when you're running around chasing mimics and fighting at 60 frames a second, you're going to feel so much more in control of the action, and it's wonderful. Fallout 76 with the latest expansion, so to speak, Steel Dawn. I don't know why they would highlight this game, and I'll tell you why. It's not great, and I was one of the last people who fought, violently for Fallout 76 and tried to explain that it's a good game, but it's just not a good game. This game on my computer runs at about 120 frames a second, ultra wide, and it's still not fun. So I don't think that frame rate is going to fix this game, but hey, why not? Let's feature some Bethesda games. I would have rather see other Bethesda games featured on this particular list, but okay, there it is, and if you enjoy it, I'm really happy for you. Lastly, Skyrim, of course, a classic. But this isn't really a game to tout at 60 frames a second, considering there are so many mods that do this already on both the Xbox and the PlayStation consoles, particularly the free ones that are great, that don't block you from doing any sort of expansions, that don't block you from getting achievements, which I find hysterical because I swear that Bethesda's like, hey, you know that one meme where the kid goes, I made this, and then the other kid takes it and goes, I made this? That's exactly what this feels like to me. Why you're highlighting a game that's older than dirt and saying it runs at 60 frames a second is embarrassing. This game should have run 60 frames a second 10 years ago, not now. However, if you have yet to play it, like Brent, who I bought this for, great opportunity to dive back in and check it out because it is still a masterclass of a game. So there you guys have it. FPS Boost in a nutshell. My thoughts on it. I am excited to see this continue. I want more blogs like this. Maybe we'll get them monthly. Maybe in April I'll be back and we'll have somebody else telling us about the latest and greatest FPS Boost games that are coming out. We will have to wait and see. With that, I'm shutting down this video, so you know what that means. Please take care of yourselves. Thank you guys so much for watching. Totally did that out of order, but I will not get this one wrong. And that is, I will see you guys on the other side. Take care.